Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue and I am back for another This Is Us review. Y'all, this show gives me all of the good feels in my spirit. I don't know what it is, but there's always like this subtle satisfaction for watching This Is Us. It's so weird. All right, so let's get into it. So Nikki is in counseling, right? And we're seeing what happened before Nikki decided to pick up that chair and throw it into the window when Once Upon a Time was having her, group therapy, little session or whatever. So they sent him a picture of baby Jack. He unfolded it and, looked at the picture. And he doesn't open up with his therapist, with his counselor, until they move the session into the courtyard. And so every day he's coming and talking to this lady who's really nice. And, he's getting better. He goes home and cuts down some branches from in front of the trailer, cleans up, puts the Jack Daniels in the back of the cabinet, puts the picture of baby Jack on the refrigerator. He's doing better. And then he gets to therapy one day and the lady says that she's being transferred because all of the VA hospitals all over the place are at a shortage. And so many people coming back that need help and not enough people to help them. I really should go back to school for psychology. I really should. Oh my God. He just gets up and walks away, okay? He goes home, gets a Jack Daniels from the back of the cabinet, and it's back to Nikki's old ways. And he went back to the VA hospital, wherever they have it, these counseling sessions, and he looks at that chair and he throws it through the window. And that's when we see Once Upon a Time standing on the other side. He gets arrested, and here comes Kevin to save the day. So Nikki says that he didn't need him to come and save him, but it's like, child, if he didn't, who would? Kevin talks to veteran services about getting him back in therapy because y'all know that probably messed up his whole situation when he threw that chair through the window. So while Kevin is waiting outside for Nikki, he meets with the Once Upon a Time girl's kid. And when she comes out, she side-eyeing Kevin like he a pedophile or something. My son calling a 40-something-year-old man a friend is, not cool. And it's like, girl, anybody in this public place playing a game with your kid? I get it, but still, calm down. Then he stands up and Nikki comes out and she recognizes them both. Recognizes Nikki from throwing a chair at her. Recognizes Kevin from Who's the Boss. He said, lady, I'm 39 years old. Who's the boss is 45 years old. Come on now. But I look close to it. But either way, we know something gonna happen between the two of them. We can already see it. Nikki tells her don't flatter herself. He was just throwing the chair. He wasn't throwing it at her. Kevin goes and asks the counselor, what's going on with Nikki. And he says, I'm going to reinstate him, but he has to want the help. He doesn't want the help. And then when Kevin turns around, he realizes that Nikki didn't walked off. He follows him outside and realizes that Nikki has walked into a bar across the street. This whole episode, Kevin has been reciting words. And it's words that remind him of baby Jack. Giraffe, diapers, baby table, whatever. Okay, it's to remind him of what's important so he can stay focused because he is a recovering alcoholic. So walking into a bar after Uncle Nicky ain't exactly ideal right now. So he goes into the bar, snatches a drink out of his hand and says, I was sober before you called me, okay? I was sober before I started talking to you. Did you know that? You ruined my sobriety the first time and you're not about to do it the second time. Get up. We going to a meeting. I don't care if you sit in the car. I'm going to a meeting and you coming with me. Let's go. Get up now, okay? I was like, yes, Kevin, take control. Uncle Nicky needs somebody to take control. Uncle Nicky's like, all right, fine. I'm coming to the session. So he gets to the session. And, he's talking about how he just broke up with a wonderful woman, just passed up on a wonderful movie. He has no idea why he would be sober right now. He has no reason to be sober, but he just thought that it would make his life better if he was. And I'm like, yeah, because you are an alcoholic. So if you weren't sober, you'd probably be ruining your life right now. At least you're on an even kill. But while he's talking about everything, Once Upon a Time starts laughing. Apparently she thinks what he's saying is ridiculous. Listening to rich people complain about their problems, basically. So she busts out laughing, and then Nikki busts out laughing, and the lady is like, you guys are being really disrespectful. And then Kevin busts out laughing. So now there are three people laughing, and everybody is looking around like, what is wrong with them? And the lady leading the meeting wants them to leave immediately, okay? Y'all are being disrespectful. Y'all gotta go, all right? So, yeah, we can see something's a-starting right here. Gotta be starting something. Got to be starting something. So hard to get over, yeah, yeah. So hard to get under, yeah, yeah. Stuck in the middle. Sorry, it happened. Anyway, moving on. Randall, as a kid, is starting a new school, supposed to be like a better school, separate from the school that Kevin and Kate are going to. So Kevin and Kate are able to stay at home while Randall has his first day at school, right? So Randall gets to school. Randall changes out whatever prep school shoes he had on, probably penny loafers, to put on his new Air Jordans, okay? Jordan 9s, okay? Them things was nice, all right? Goes into the classroom, has a black teacher. He's all excited. He sits down, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's all excited. The inner class, he gets up, he walks out, he's bonding with the black teacher, okay? There are not a lot of black people around, so the fact they had a black teacher was crazy. I didn't have a black teacher in middle school. So, you know, from second grade, or was it first grade? I think it might have been first grade. From first grade to 8th grade, I didn't have one black teacher. So yeah, I get it. I'm just saying. Like, seeing that one, whoo, you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, this one black teacher has to write him up because he shouldn't have been wearing the J's. That's against the school dress code. So he got to write him up. And I think that Randall lied and said he'd been at the school for 3 years. And I don't know if he was actually at the school for 3 years because it's a new school, right? I was confused about that part. But either way, he wrote him up. And Randall has never been written up. So Randall is in the hallway having a panic attack. He calls the house to try to talk to Rebecca, but Rebecca's busy working out with Kate right now. They're doing aerobics together. So Kevin picks up the phone. He's trying to have a spa day. He got cucumbers on his eyes. Like, that boy there, okay? But he tells Randall, meet him on the side of the school. He gonna come over there. Don't call the house back. So Kevin goes to the school, and he's like, what's going on? He's like, he gave me a note for wearing the wrong shoes. He was like, all right, man, calm down. Do you want mom's signature when she's in a hurry or right before bed, okay? And he signs it. He's like, you can't do that. He was like, man, chill out. Give it to the teacher. Mom and dad will never know. It's not a big deal, okay? And he notices how he's, freaking out and all of that. But Kevin came to the rescue. And you love these moments where Kevin is being a good person because they are so far and few in between, especially at this age. So at home, like I said, Rebecca and Kate are doing aerobics. And after they finish, we see Kate go and get on a scale. And I'm like, oh, here we go with this. You know, because people that do that, like, don't do that. Don't even worry about that. I've really been trying to get it into my head. It's not about losing weight. It's more so about creating a healthy, pattern. Working out on a weekly basis makes me feel better, makes my body feel better, and it makes me look better. So I try to think about it in a way of becoming a routine instead of trying to think about it as a way to hurry up and lose some weight. Because when you think about it like that, it's going to be harder for you to focus on what's important, which is your health and not your weight. And also, we retain water. Like, okay, your muscles get heavier and your body fat slims down. So weighing yourself is not always the most accurate way to tell if you're making progress, okay? But that's besides the point. Y'all get what I'm saying. Jack gets to work. And Miguel comes up to him after they hear somebody, damn it, like what's going on? Apparently, somebody approved to have the cement foundation laid before a water line was put in. So somebody's in trouble. Miguel thinks that it's somebody else, hopes that it's somebody else. And when he says the name of the account, Jack remembers that it was him. He doesn't know how he missed it, but it was him. Before Jack left for work, Rebecca was asking him, was he okay? The way he was sipping on that coffee. I'm like, are you drinking again, Jack? Is this Jack drinking time? We don't know. They didn't say. We didn't see him drinking. So I kind of felt that way at the beginning. But as we got to the end of the episode, I guess that actually wasn't the case. But Jack is a man. So Jack goes in there to his boss and admits that it was his fault. He's the one that signed off on it. And it's the only mistake he's made in all the years he's been working there. Where the man said, you just cost me $20,000. So that was the one mistake that you shouldn't have made. So you're fired. Miguel, being a real one that he is, comes up behind him and says, I have made you more money than anybody else out there. If you don't keep Jack on, I'm going to quit and take all of my clients with me. Okay? And so, of course, he muscled and leveraged his livelihood against Jack's. He's a real one, right? You're like, the more you find out about how good of a person Miguel is, the more you just kind of be like, these things happen. These things happen when you get with your best friend's widow. It happens. So Jack got to keep his job. And later, Jack tells him that, over the phone, if he needs anything. He's going to kick his ass if he finds out that he went and asked somebody else before he came to Jack, okay? So, obviously, real deal Holyfield relationship right here. Real deal friendship. Kevin and Randall talk about his anxiety attack after school, and Kate comes in and tells them about the boy with the pimples by the pool that she kissed, and it was like, ew, oh my God. So they have this moment where they're just talking and being siblings. And it's like this really beautiful moment that mirrors a moment that Deja and Tess have later on. But, you know, we're going to get to that in a minute. But either way, after they finish talking, Kevin goes and gets their parents and says, y'all should come in here and watch Arsenio Hall with us. I think everybody needs to do this. Everybody needs to sit down and laugh together. So that's what they did. They sat down and they watched Arsenio Hall and they all laughed together, and everybody needed a good laugh, okay? So adult Randall has his baby Ann reading an article about him being unhinged, okay? We like, what y'all mean unhinged? Randall is as straight as an edge, okay? But really, it was a story about him taking the door off of his office because he is trying to be very radical about his open door policy. People can come in all day from 8 to 6 and talk to Randall about whatever is vexing them about the community. When he gets there, there is an aide named, what was her name? Brenda. Sounds like a name that has an attitude attached to it. But Brenda had an attitude. And so whenever, you know, there was a comment about the door being off or talking to the constituents, you know, she's rolling her eyes and hemming and hawing and making a big deal out of everything. And Jaywan was like, we need to get rid of her. She doing too much. And Randall was like, she has so much experience. I can handle a little attitude. It's not a big deal, right? So Randall is knocking them down, talking to all of these people, being their shoulder to cry on, being supportive, just going above and beyond. And I feel like it's a testament to what people actually need to be versus what they are expected to be. I love Randall. Anyway, so at the end of his day, he's walking out to go and have this meeting with the other city council members, and another man walks in complaining about the bus system. He says, I would have been here at 5:15, but the bus system is trash, and that's what I came to talk to you about. So instead of leaving to go to the city council meeting, he brings the man into his office, and they talk for damn near an hour, okay? The man leaves out, and Brenda has had somebody to come in here and put the door back on the hinges. And he was like, I didn't ask nobody to do that. And Brenda says, well, it's a fire hazard, so I had the door put back on. And Randall is feeling some type of way, so he asked for everybody to clear out the room except for Brenda. And he says, you know, I feel like I've been very patient here, but I can't have you disrespecting me in front of everybody whenever I say that this is how I want something done. And she starts to go in about how naive he is, how he doesn't understand how city council works, and how he needs to fire Jaywan because he needs somebody who knows city council instead of somebody to be his friend. Completely overstepped her boundaries, right? So she thinks she's won because she has all this experience, and she didn't just read Randall down and told him that, you know, he was basically a child with naivete focusing on the wrong things and, you know, shaded his friend. So she's walking off. She thinks she's won. I'm going to tell that guy to come back in here and put the door back on. And he says, you know what, Brenda? And as soon as he said that, she was like, oh, Lord. Okay, like that's when she realized she had done too much, said too much, all right? He says, I do understand that you have all this experience, but I can't have somebody here that will disrespect me, my policies, or my friend. So this is your last day. I said, yeah. Jaywan was right. We was with Randall. We was going to give her a second, but she was doing too much. She got to go. We don't have time for this. You an op. I can't have you in here. Okay, so she had to go. And Randall goes to meet with the city council members in Jaywan, but they're already gone. Randall tells Jaywan he had to fire Brenda, and he's like, I'll start looking for her replacement. And he tells Jaywan that she said they were naive, and he was like, yeah, we're unhinged, remember? But this is the job. We're not career politicians. We're here to do a job. And you want to do as much work with these people as you can. And you can't waste time fighting battles with people in city council when you could be helping people out here in these streets, okay? And I believe that. I think that that is an excellent way to think about this, especially for somebody that is not trying to go any further, somebody that is happy to help and be of service where they are. And I appreciate that about Randall. I really do, because I feel like inadvertently it will get Randall to a place he never expected to be, because he's focusing on the right things. When people love you, people really can put you into a position where you need to be based off of just their support, especially in a position like his. So he may not be able to move forward, okay, that much, but he could definitely keep his spot for as long as it's legally allowed, because he affects people in such a profound personal way. I said it already, but I'm saying it again. I love Randall, okay? And then he talks to Jaywan about his proposal plan for his girlfriend. And it's just like, oh my God, I love Randall. So y'all, Tess had been acting weird all day. We didn't know what was going on. And then we see Deja get a text message from Malik. He's out there on the stoop. So she walks outside. Hey, Malik, And he says, did you hear anything about me at school? And she says, no, what, you running for office or something? Like, what's going on? And he was like, well, I have a baby. I have a 6-month-old little girl. He was like, me and her mother were together for a while. Her mother and her family wanted to put the baby up for adoption. I didn't. My family didn't. So we have her. And Deja is like, oh, Lord have mercy. How old are we? We're like 14, for God's sakes. Like, Deja is just entering high school. High school, y'all. This is the sweet, nice version of the ignorant stuff that happens on paternity court. So Deja goes and talks to Tess. And she explains the whole situation, and she says it's complicated. And Tess says, well, you were a bit complicated when you got here too. And Tess tells her that when she was at school, she really thought going to a new school with her new haircut would mean she didn't have to come out. But a girl at the table at lunch today asked her if she thought this football player was cute. And she was like, yeah. And she doesn't know why she did that. And, it just feels difficult. And she really would have wanted to come home and talk to Beth about it, but it's harder now. And Deja, always steadfast, remembering what it's like to have a parent that's not there, says, even when they don't know what's going on, Randall and Beth are always there. That's one of my favorite things about this house. I think how things were beforehand, they weren't there all the time. Y'all remember, it was a lot of them being gone. And so this arrangement is everybody always there. And Deja just says, we need to be grateful for that. That's a good thing. And I just be loving Deja in these moments when she reminds these kids what it is like to have parents that can't even put forth half of the effort. And she was right, because throughout the day, Beth kind of kept checking in. You all right, baby? Everything's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? She don't even know, but she's telling her everything going to be all right, baby. She could see it all on her face. Oh, Lord. But they have their little giggling moment, and they're confiding in one another moment, their sibling moment, just like, the big three had their moment. So y'all, Kate runs into her angry neighbor, who is Carlton Lassiter from Psych. Okay, that's not his real name, but that's his name on Psych, and that's what he always is to me. Or Kane from Supernatural. Lord, the tresses when he played Kane in Supernatural. I cannot. But he will forever and always kind of be Lassie. And in this situation, this kind of vibe that he's giving off, he's Lassie, all right? He's complaining about the fact that Toby keeps parking on the sidewalk. So, how they have their driveway. Well, they have a pod in their driveway because they're, moving in. So they have stuff in the pod. They go in there, they get it there, but they're doing it slowly. So that pod is still in the driveway. And when he pulls into the driveway, he can't pull up enough. So he's kind of on the sidewalk. And the man is like, can you please, not park on the sidewalk? Stay off my freaking grass. Shout out to Friday. But Lassie threatens to have the car towed, all right? So Kate meets Toby at a bar. It's, for his tech company. And, it's a business meeting. And when she walks up and sees, girl, when she walked up and we all saw Toby in that suit, I said, he looks so good. She had to stop us though. So they're about to, get seated for dinner. And the waitress the hostess wants to sit them at a booth. And he's like, you know what? The air conditioner is blowing right here. And I really want that bisque that y'all have. And I don't want it making my bisque cold. So can we get another, seat? And the people who they're meeting with are like, well, we weren't going to get the bisque. This is fine. Because the girl was like, oh, there are no other tables available. Those tables are reserved. And, you know, Kate can't take too much of this. So Kate is like, look, he's saying that because I can't fit in the booth. I know, it's uncomfortable, right? I should have a comes with uncomfortable moments sign on my chest, shouldn't I? So then they can accommodate her after she's embarrassed herself. You couldn't just do it off rip, could you, hostess? But the way, you know, Toby just like, I love you, and grabs her hand like Toby was fine. I was like, Toby, oh my God. oh my God. It was everything, okay? So after that, they get home and she's like, Toby, take off your shirt. He's like, yeah, you know, because he was talking about the idea for a TV show that's like their life, okay? But whatever. She's like, take the shirt off, Toby. Toby pulls the shirt off and standing there looking all buff. And she was like, I know I've been stressed out. I gained 15 pounds. How you stressed out and gained muscle? What is going on here? And he admits that he's been going to the gym and he's been doing CrossFit. You know, he'll go before or after or whenever he can, but he's been going. He reminds her he already had a heart attack and he wants to be there for their kid. And she's like, because I won't be? And it's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I didn't want to stress you out or make you feel some type of way. Because you know, when your significant other starts working out and you not working out, they make you feel bad. They either make you want to work out or they make you feel bad that you're not working out. Okay? So I totally got where she was coming from. But the baby starts crying, so she goes to get the baby. Later on, she's sitting on the porch crying and Lassie walks up. Like, didn't I ask you to tell your husband to stop parking, in a sidewalk? And she's like, I'm just really having a bad day right now. I really don't have time for you and your car dramatics. Okay, man? Like, go on somewhere. And he's like, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. But I lost my job after I had a stroke that almost killed me. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, I'm not done. And every day I try to walk around this block. But I can't walk around the block because your husband is blocking the sidewalk, which makes it hard for me. If he does it again, I'm going to use my hand that still works to key his car. And then he turns around to like slowly walk away and he's like, this is me storming off. I know you won't notice otherwise. I was dying laughing. So the next day, the car isn't parked on the sidewalk and they actually end up walking together because I guess Kate gonna start walking to try to lose some weight and, you know, she gonna have her little walking buddy with a good sense of humor full of sarcasm. Yes, I love it. I love Lassie. He's like kind of one of my favorite people that pops up on shows all the time ever since Psych. I love him. So I was really happy to see him. I still can't wait to really delve into, Pusey's little nephew, Malik. I know that's Pusey's nephew. They look just alike. That's creepy. But, he's basically like the boy version of her. So I can't wait to see how, that develops because I feel like that's going to warm my heart. Like, they really are setting themselves up to be here for another 10 seasons as far as I'm concerned. Because, like, when you think about how these are, the 3 different families, with Kate and then Kevin and then Beth and Randall, and, of course, Rebecca being an extension of all of them. But then their kids and then the separation of that. So this season presenting the kids and their lives as a main storyline is only giving them more to work with over a longer period of time. So I really do see this show having at least 7 seasons. At least. That's what I see. And that's what I'm hoping and praying for. Okay, and I pray that y'all give us good content as long as y'all can because I really love the show. And I actually love reviewing the show. And it doesn't matter that it only gets 19 to, 1,900, 2,000 views. I don't care. I'm going to review it because I love it, okay? And I appreciate everybody that does come and watch my reviews of This Is Us and shares them. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one.